oops, I wasn't even recording. No, boy, I was just talking to myself. We're out of Great Falls. So we're on Montana 200, which currently is a 4-lane, but it will only be 2 lanes once I get into the first pass, which is coming up fairly soon. And that's where we'll go over the Continental Divide, which, you know, Continental Divide means once we cross that, right now all the rivers drain towards the east. And then when we pass Continental Divide, all the rivers drain to the west. So it's kind of interesting. So we will be coming up to that with, less than an hour. So the girls are in the back in the crate, and Bella's starting to calm down. I did have to give her one of her medications because she's an Aussie and she's very high strung. And I actually wasn't gonna ever ask the vet, and the vet called me one time and said, "Look, your dog has anxiety." Remember, she's a rehome, so I got her when she was 9 weeks old. So, but I think it's just their nature to be high strung, because she loves being in Montana and running in the yard. And when I'm in Seattle, oh, it's such a tiny yard, so we have to go to dog parks, which is fine. But listen, it's rainy season now, and the girl loves the mud. So yeah, so we're just gonna have to see. I might have to start putting her back at doggy day camp when I'm at work, because she seems to be able to herd all the other little dogs, because they have her with the little dogs. She's not in with the big dogs. And so, yeah, so she has a good time at day camp. So I'll talk to you when we get to the Continental Divide. So we're in the town of Vaughn, Montana, and you can just see all the beautiful scenery here, and you'll see the sign coming up, and we're going to Missoula, which is the first leg of our trip. So we are taking one Montana 200, and we're going down to Missoula. Once we get to Missoula, the ride is pretty boring. It is a pretty ride though, because we go through Idaho, more of Montana, and of course Idaho, and then Washington State. So it is a pretty drive, so I'm going to try to make sure I can turn the camera towards the sights instead of me always just talking all the time, so you guys can see the landscape, especially when we're going through the mountain passes. It's really pretty. Now, right now, the speed limit is 55, and coming up here, but it's been 80, so it just depends on what section of the highway. But when we get down to just 2 lanes, I'm not going to go over 70. I'll probably go more around 65, just because remember that it just went up to 70 here. But remember that the elk and the deer and the rams and all the different wildlife are coming down to a bit lower levels to feed, get ready for winter. So there was an incident involving a deer on this road closer, when we get closer to, almost into the mountains. And so I need to be super careful. That's why I waited till daylight to drive, so I can be on the lookout. All right, y'all. So we just left Fort Shaw. Again, you see I'm down to the 2 lanes, and you just look at this beautiful scenery. It almost looks like it's painted. It's just incredibly beautiful. Don't know how anyone would not want to live out here in this beautiful, clean air. Few people. Let's see if I can put it to the side while I'm driving. There we go. And just be surrounded by nature, and just I don't know, being free. Okay, everybody, we are getting close to Lincoln. So right now we're down to about 60 miles an hour, but I'm behind a big truck, as you see, and so he's only going about 40. So you listen, you can see the double yellow lines. I'm not going to take a chance just to go a little faster. Totally not worth it. I know there's a lot of cars behind me, and they're not really rushing my bumper or anything, so it is what it is. But yeah, look at the beautiful scenery. We are getting close now to the Continental Divide. Oh, that's funny. It says no fireworks. I'm like, really? Who would be way up here shooting off fireworks? But I guess there's somebody who would. You see the rocky formations here. And again, just some beautiful, beautiful Montana mountain scenery. I did see a deer that had been hit and very fresh. So I wonder if that's the one that Mark was talking about. Oh, we're at Rogers Pass. This is the Continental Divide. Okay, so we just went through the Continental Divide. So remember, that means now all the rivers will be flowing west. They'll be flowing towards the Pacific Ocean. So pretty cool. So lots of Rogers Pass is right here, and that was the first pass of this journey. So guess what? Pass 1 is done. The girls are in their crate back there, and I let them ride together because Pooga gets car sick, but if she's in there with Bella, she doesn't. So it's really pretty amazing. And the truck is so polite. He's like letting because there's like 10 cars behind me. We're all a little bumper to bumperish. So that was really polite of him to move over. So again, just beautiful scenery. It's a little cloudy today. It's been pretty cloudy in Great Falls as well, mainly because we did have some rain this week, and then it's cooler than normal, at least in my opinion, because it's usually still pretty warm when I'm here, but I've got a jacket on. So we're in just on the other side of Spokane in Washington, and stopped and let the girls out and let them walk about. Yeah, I don't have a leash on Pooh because she stays right with me and Bella, but Bella, that child will run, and I'll have to sit here for an hour waiting on her to come back, so I have to put a leash on her for sure. But Pooga just goes wherever Bella goes or wherever I go. So we're out. We've been out here for a while. I want to give them a good rest because they've been cooped up in that crate. This is our third time we've stopped, so I stop about every couple hours. So we're about 225 miles from my house. So yeah, about 3.5 to 4 more hours, depending on how many more stops I decide to take. And all's going well. Traffic is just now starting to pick up now that now that we're in Washington. So I had to, and of course the speed limit now is only 70 miles an hour. In Idaho and Montana it is 80. So I had to slow down a little bit, but all's well, guys. Have a great Saturday.